Hello and welcome. I should have filmed what I did about 10 minutes ago, but I didn't, sorry. But I can show you what I did. As you can see, there is a pair of wire cutters, bolt cutters, and a pair of gloves in there. That is because I've cut through this fence. And I'm sure cutting through a barbed wire fence in no wood will delight a number of people, and not just me. But so that means, if you can see the paths there, there's one that comes down there and goes down to the bottom, and there's a deer path there that comes up, and I've just disturbed a muntjac down there and goes through here. So come with me while I be the first person to walk through this new gate in the wood. Okay, and here we are. Now, wow, this is quite nice. Moss everywhere. So if you know the woods like I do, and if you've got, there's something that I do in woods, and I'm now following a deer path because that's the path through, and that way you don't damage anything that isn't otherwise damaged. But if you're like me, what I tend to do, and I do this when I'm driving, is I throw my senses ahead. So for example, I can sense, even if I can't see, that there's a vehicle coming around a blind corner, or I can sense when there isn't, but I've never been prepared to risk it and drive on the other side, because that would be stupid. You can get into that space that I'm sure probably people in the army do it, that you know, you must have to get into that zone of having your senses alert all around, and you feel with another sense that you can't name. Well, sixth sense, but then seventh, eighth, ninth, whichever one it is, or the rest of them. But, so yeah, here we are. First time in here through that gate, and interestingly, there are many gates in woods. Some are ones you walk through, you can see. Some of them you can't see. Some of them are arches. I'm looking for one now. See if I can show you. There's a few that are sort of there. I mean, oh, here's one. Let's do this, seeing as we're coming through gates today. And here we have, oh, this is interesting, look at that. Very interesting. Look at this. We have a natural arch, which I see as a gateway. And through gateways like that, you go into the other. And actually, I quite felt that. It's like an electric tingle going up my spine. I know roe deer come through here because I've seen them. Right, I'm going to go. I'm sure other people who love woodlands like me will understand what I'm going to say now, and that is that, oh, there's another path I missed going up through there, another deer path. But sorry about the aeroplane, but you'll appreciate it when I say that what I want to do, because I need to because what I want to do is I'm going to go up to there. Yeah, sort of. See where the purple is? No. There, sorry about the sunflower. I'm going to go into there and see what I can see. I'll just go a little bit further and many of you will understand that. The thing about woodlands is if you can't cope with death and decay, you shouldn't really go into woodlands. Wow, this has got a nice feel to it. This is a real out of the way, no one hardly comes here. Kind of feel to it. Wow. See, now I want to go to over there. So let's satisfy our curiosity, shall we? There's a poplar fallen. Oh, a nice mound. Oh, a magical mound. Okay, let's visit the Fairy Mound. Look at that. Oh, now I'm really excited. My whole body's tingling now. I've got pins, my hair's standing on end now. Wow, that's really interesting. Wow. Face of death in the tree. Here we are. Now I don't know if this is a fairy mound, but it's full of bluebells. So it could be. Is this where the trolls live? Ooh, look at this. Wow, look at this moss. And look, 2 bowls of ancient coppiced ash. But if I'm right, I would suggest that those 2 bowls of coppiced ash guard the entrance. and it looks as if I'm right. There's the entrance through there. And you can't see it yet, but the spring arises from under the tree. And it's that what we cross to get onto the mound. Wow. Whew. Oh wow, I can't believe what I'm seeing now. Look at this. Everywhere you look now, I'm in a patch. Of scarlet elf cups. All growing on this wood. The green and red being perfectly fairy-like. All over here. And that's made my day. But it's interesting, I've just been to the Fairy Mound and I've got lost on my way back, even though it's quite straightforward. I went further into that wood than I even imagined I'd gone. And I can't even see where I came in. I can see the fence. Ah, here it is. Wow, this is all... Well, I haven't seen this many for years. The last time I did, and if you listen, you can hear the stream. The last time I did, down in the stream here, it's partly one of the reasons I call this place Fairyland, is that down in there, along the banks of the stream, and also on the ground, just like you saw there were thousands, and I mean literally thousands, of scarlet elf cups. The bank was just red, both sides, all the way along, for, well, I don't know how far it is, a quarter of a mile. That's what, half a kilometre? No, more than that. So here you go. Okay, well, we're about to head out of the wood, and did you notice the magic that happened? Right, I've made a gate and used it for the first time, got in here, then we went through the arch, under the arch, then we found the spring that comes down just before the mound, then we found the Fairy Mound, the gate to it, where all the trolls live, and then on the way back we discovered that big patch of scarlet elf cups, and then a bit further on I got disorientated a bit and lost my way, which is unusual. I don't often do that. If you wonder why I have sunglasses on a lot, it's because when you're outside it's quite bright, believe it or not. So it's like driving into the winter sun if you live in England. And yeah, so there you go. I hope that illustrates what I meant about things that happen going through a gateway and you go into another realm. That's what I've done. To illustrate what I was saying about the bank, there's some of them in there. You can see a few. Well, there you go. Thank you for joining me, and see you next time for some woodland therapy. As you can see, I've taken another journey here to see the Fairy Mound at the right time. Sometimes there is only one opportunity. I know I keep saying this. Maybe if you leave a comment every time I post a video where I say that, but there is only one moment. If I leave it till next week, it could be pouring down with rain. Something could happen. I could be ill, you know, anything, and I may not be here. So, but look, I tell you, this turns me a bit mental, it really does. But I've just gone up to the Fairy Mound because I thought it might be covered in bluebells. It's only got a few, as you saw. But on the way back, I got lost. I got disorientated. It didn't look like the same wood. Anyway, I managed to get out, so thanks for watching. See you next time. Ta-da.